What's up, fight fans, and welcome to another episode of Premier MMA Championship Insider. I'm Rob Turtle Whitson, and I got a great show for you guys today. As you know, Premier MMA Championship 16 is coming up in just about 2 weeks on Saturday, April 10th, live from the Hit Sports Complex. And a big fight on that fight card is going to be William Connor Jr. Facing Dylan Budka. Dylan Budka fought at the last Premier MMA Championship 15. I was cage side for that fight, and he had a great fight against Overstreet. It was, at the time, the fight I was looking forward to the most on that fight card, and it didn't disappoint. Now Budka's back, coming back. This dude, man, he's a scary dude. He's been staying active ever since making his debut, and he's wasting no time coming back to Premier MMA Championship. I'm going to be talking to him today. So now, without further ado, please help me welcome Dylan Budka to the broadcast.
How you doing, man?
Dylan, what's up, dude? Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for doing this. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, brother.
As I was telling people at the beginning of the show, you had a very exciting fight at Premier MMA 15. You're wasting no time coming back. How's fight camp going? How are you feeling?
Fight camp's going really good, man. I'm excited to get back in that cage. None of the 205 pounders wanted to fight me, so I thought I'd come down to the middleweight and do a catch weight with William Connor. So I'm excited that he took the fight.
Yeah, I was wondering about that because I seen on social media that you were talking about dropping weight, and then you've been kind of all over with booking your fights on your weight. Is that a problem for you, or is weight cut pretty easy for you because you're relatively new to the game?
Yeah, weight cut isn't hard at all, man. It's not hard to get me in there, bro. I'm not afraid to fight anybody. So anybody that wants to fight, if I have to drop down, I'll drop down. If I have to go up, I'll go up. I'm excited to fight anybody.
Well, let's talk about that because you don't just talk the talk. You walk the walk. When you fought at Premier MMA 15, you fought Overstreet, who man, that's a scary dude. For anybody to get in the cage with. He's clearly an athlete. The guy's in phenomenal shape, and that was your debut fight, right?
Yes, sir.
And you come in fighting a guy like that in your debut fight. I got some comments that I want to make about that fight after I hear from you what that experience was like making your debut. You clearly had no problem taking the fight. You were a game fighter that night. So let me have your thoughts on that fight.
I was supposed to go against somebody else at first, and then they said I told them I wanted the best guy that could get in there. I want to be able to go against the good guys now, talk to my coach, and I told him I want the top people now, so when I get to the top show, I feel more comfortable in there. And when I got in there, I underestimated the nerves a little bit and how exciting it is to get in there. And I was nervous, man. I didn't expect it to be that bad. And then I feel I get more comfortable every time I train now. I get more comfortable every time I spar. And after that fight, I fought again in another promotion, and I even got more comfortable then. So I'm really excited to keep going.
Yeah, I often say, I got a little noise there. Is that from me?
Hello?
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
I often say that when you train in the gym, you can prepare for everything, but you can't prepare for the lights and the crowd and the adrenaline. Those are all things that you have to experience the first time.
Yeah, I underestimated a lot.
So you fought to a decision with a tough opponent who already had experience in the cage. What was you came up short in that fight? He ended up winning the decision. I want to get your take on that.
I feel like if I went against him again, I feel like it would be a different story. He's a very good opponent. He's a great athlete, but my tools that I have that I haven't been able to show yet because of the nerves and because I'm still getting experience, I just know that I'm better than 100% of the division in my weight classes. I feel better. I move quicker. I feel stronger, and I know that when I finally get to showcasing all my tools, that I can take on everybody in my division. And I'm excited to see how far Overstreet goes, but we're gonna meet again in the future. If it has to be when we're pro, or maybe one more time before we both turn pro. But I'm gonna see him again. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be a good fight.
I got to tell you, as you know, I did commentary on the fight, and I'm not a judge, okay, but but I've seen thousands and thousands of fights. I've been cage side, and I don't. No disrespect to Overstreet because that, like I said, he's a tough dude. That dude is going to go places.
Yes, sir.
I'm quite sure of that. But that was a very close fight between you and him. It was not, a dominant performance on either side. It was very competitive and exciting fight to watch. That being said, just in my own view going into it, I had you winning the fight on the scorecards. Now, I'm not saying you got robbed. What I'm saying is that was just my opinion at the time. It was a close fight, but going in, your first fight, the ring announcer's coming in. He's going to read the scorecards.
Yeah.
What was going through your mind then? And did you feel you had won the fight going into that?
I felt that I won the first and second round, and I feel like I lost the third. After me and my team looked back over the video, we all felt the same way too. But it was close enough, being that it's in Kentucky and Overstreet's a Kentucky fighter, that the favor could go to him. And I'm the debut guy coming out of town. So, but regardless, I have the capability of finishing him, and I didn't. So.
Yeah. Well, it's the old adage, don't let it go to the judges. We don't
Yep.
control the judges. That's an athletic commission thing. We have no control of that. There was another questionable fight that night that I thought that dude did get robbed. Your fight was a very close fight, but the other one went the other way. But I said to somebody afterwards, I said, man, I don't want to be the next guy to fight that dude because, you looked great. You looked great in there. Not many debut fighters have to fight a monster like you did in there, and you looked very good doing it. Now you're fighting William Connor coming up, on the 10th. He also has a little more experience in the cage than you do. He's a very tough opponent. Give me your thoughts on the fight coming up and how you think this is going to play
out. I believe that I'm going to rack up my finish rate this fight. I feel like I'm going to get a finish this fight. I've trained with some really good fighters in the past few weeks. My weight cut's going very smooth. I'm almost on weight already. I was almost on weight at the beginning of the week. He's a very experienced fighter, yes, but again, I'm way better than him all around on the field. And right after this, I want Premier to give me a title fight, man. I'm excited.
I love the confidence, man. I really do. As I was telling you before the broadcast, I also love the self promotion and putting yourself out there. We almost don't even have to promote your fight because you do such a good job of promoting yourself. So let's talk about what got you here. What started you, were you an athlete in like high school before this? You're a young guy. What got your start in combat sports?
Well, I started off playing football and baseball in high school, and then I started wrestling my junior year of high school, and I pretty much just fell in love with it from there. And I won a national title my second year of wrestling. And then from there, I got a few scholarships for football, a few scholarships for wrestling, and I decided to take on wrestling in full effect because it just felt right. And my second year of wrestling in college, I got a call from Notre Dame, and I transferred to Notre Dame in college, Division II.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I met a whole bunch of great fighters, Joey Davis, a lot of Bellator fighters. I met Jessica I there that fights for the UFC. And seeing all them do it, eventually one day I was like, let me try that out a little bit. And then I started doing it slowly and doing it here and there. And then one day I met Ferraris Golden, and he was in the he also fought for Premier. He won a title. And he was like, come check out Demolition Fight Team. And that was about 10 months ago. And I moved into the gym here. I'm actually sitting in my house right now. That's a part of the gym, and I've been doing it full time from there, and I love it.
Yeah, there's some real monsters coming out of Demolition Fight
Oh
Team.
yeah.
Ferrer's Golden for sure. I'm a fan. Um, Man, what a decorated background for you at such a young age, and being a collegiate wrestler and somebody with those accolades coming in. You know, years ago there was a time where MMA wasn't necessarily the direct path for somebody with a collegiate wrestling background.
Right.
Now you would almost think for sure, that especially because you had that competitive nature. If that's what you were going to do, how long before you trained? Like when you were still competing in wrestling at Notre Dame, did you have thoughts or aspirations of breaking into MMA once your school was over?
I had hints, and I actually wasn't even supposed to. I was gonna keep wrestling in college, and the COVID happened, so our season got canceled, and I was actually training to compete for a spot on the world team before I got to Demolition. And if that would COVID wouldn't happen, I probably wouldn't even be sitting on this interview with you right now. I would
Yeah.
still be at Notre Dame. So it's a
So
crazy
you're
story
still
how
in
it happened.
school.
Huh? Yeah,
So
I'm in
you're
school
still
right
in
now.
school. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So you'll be back, when things start to get back to normal to competing also in wrestling as well.
No, I've took this on full time. I've decided to take this on full time, and with my sponsorships and everything that I have, that all the people I have in my corner, it'd probably not be a good idea. I'd be making too much money from my sponsorships.
So let's go back to Demolition Fight Team. You've been out there for 10 months now. This is going to be your third fight coming up. Um, you're 1-1 now, so I know that this fight is very, very important to you. The win has to be very, very important to you. Um, so how have things been at the gym, and how has that experience been for you since you started until now?
um, really good. Every practice, I learn something new. Every time I spar with somebody, I feel more comfortable in front of somebody in the pocket with people. I feel all my tools are coming together. I feel really light on my feet. I'm starting to feel really good at this weight, so maybe I might have to drop down to middleweight and take a title there too. Um, I feel really good, and luckily I have 7 other teammates on this card with me,
Yeah.
so I'm really excited. All the energy in the room's good, and I feel like we're gonna go 8-0 that night too.
Yeah, Demolition Fight Team definitely in the house on April 10th.
Hey, it's
Uh,
not hard for us. We'll take any fights. All of our guys are gonna take fights.
I I was interviewing another fighter earlier in the week, and we were having a conversation about wrestling, and I said that even though wrestling isn't considered a martial art, I consider it the dominant martial art in mixed martial arts.
Oh yeah.
Historically, it's kind of been that way with a lot of the great fighters, down the line. Um, Top level wrestlers have had a lot of success in like the UFC and upper level mixed martial arts. Now that you're with Demolition, you already had the wrestling. You already had that going for you. Now that you're at Demolition, are you starting to get into other forms of martial arts and pick up other? I mean, I'm sure you are,
Yeah.
but I mean, how has that been? Because you're good, you're 10 months in on those. Has that been a good experience, and have you found a passion for a particular other discipline of martial arts?
Um, it's been fun. It's been fun being able to add, like you said, that's one of the hardest things to learn in MMA. I feel like is wrestling, and already having a good base with wrestling, being able to put it all together, setting up my feints and setting up everything to set up my hands. And also, I've been taking boxing fights on the side. I'm a 3-0 boxer right now. I won a boxing title, my amateur boxing
I've
title,
seen that.
my second fight, and just being able to do them boxing fights and being forced just to use my hands helps me set up my takedowns for when I want to take somebody down. So
Yeah, I was going to ask you about the boxing because I thought, well, that's weird that a guy with a wrestling background would jump up and decide to to do boxing, like that's not outside of his element. So you're telling me that was kind of a planned thing to get better with your hands?
Oh yeah, I want to be able to do it all. I want to put on a show for everybody. I just don't want to go in there and do a wrestling match. They're not paying for a wrestling match. They're paying for a fight.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, you like I said, man, you looked really good at 15. You were fighting a monster. I know that, when you come up short and you're fighting your debut fight and you have all those nerves and everything, you reevaluate a lot of things, after the fight. And I'm sure you got very good coaches that gave you very good advice about all of those things. But just as a fan and somebody outside the box that was watching the fight, I thought it was a very impressive amateur debut.
Thank you.
It really was. I see a lot of these things. Fights that have amateur debuts are usually the most entertaining for me, because a lot of times, especially if you got guys that are fighting, both guys are making their debut. Usually one of those guys will find out that night that he's not a fighter.
Very true.
Because there's a lot of things that you just don't know until you experience it. I know you said that you were very nervous, but you couldn't tell. It was a great fight. So congratulations on that. Even though you didn't win, I think it was very impressive, and I've been excited. When going into this, I was trying to interview fighters from all of the gyms. We have a lot of gyms from all over the Midwest that compete for us, and so I wanted to try to get somebody from every gym, and you were the guy that I was most that I wanted to get from Demolition, simply because I had so much I wanted to talk to you about in regards to this thing. So what is the future for you in this weird world, with COVID and stuff? What are your aspirations as a fighter?
My aspirations is to be pro by the end of the year. I want to take on as many fights as I want, as many fights as they give me, as long as people want to keep fighting me, because it's been really tough to find. I'm not hard to fight. I'm not hard to find. I'm here. I'm waiting. I want to fight everybody. No 205-pounders want to fight me right now. So right now they're all scared. They're shook. They see me coming. They know I keep getting better every fight. I know they're watching me. But if I have to drop down some weight, I'll do it. If I have to jump up a little bit of weight to do it, I will. But I want to keep going against the best guys. I want to get in there with the best people. I want to beat the boxers. I want to beat the wrestlers, the jiu-jitsu guys. I want to show everybody what I'm capable of doing. And I think I'm going to be pro real quick. And a lot of people are going to know me.
Well, I'm glad I asked. So I'm trying to think of how I'm going to say this. With COVID, so you had the wrestling thing going on. You won a national championship in high school. Then you go to Notre Dame. Man, that's big time. That's big shit, right?
Yeah.
And then COVID comes along, sidetracks you. And for a lot of people in the combat sports world, our world was turned upside down by COVID. Gyms were shut down, events were shut down. Nothing was going on. You took that time when everything was weird for all of us and decided to jump into it. That's where I'm going to I'm just going to start doing this. Explain to me what that year of the COVID shutdown was like for you, like the difficulties of it and what you took out of it.
Honestly, the most hardest part was just the waiting for a fight to happen. I get excited. I don't have a lot of patience. So when I started training, I wanted to get in there. I wanted to make it happen. But while that was happening, I was setting up boxing fights, club shows, like stuff like that, to get that experience of being in front of the crowd and everything. And just taking advantage of the time I have being in this great gym with all the great trainers I have, and putting 100% work in every day to get as good as I want to be. And I'm excited to see what's next.
So not being able to compete during that time, being such a competitor, is that why you're not wasting their time? Like, you took a fight, then you took another fight, now you're taking another fight. You're doing boxing in between. Like, when do you rest, man?
Hey, there ain't no rest until I make it to the show, man. I can't take no rest right now. I ain't making millions yet, so I gotta keep going. I gotta take all the fights I can because these guys keep backing out, bro. These guys keep backing out. I'm tired of people backing out on me.
Yeah, we don't like when they back out either, man. Trust me,
No,
I've been around a long time, and that's just part of the game. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, some people just want to be fighters on Facebook,
Oh yeah,
and on Instagram they'll post the posters and stuff like that.
yeah,
But they backed out of more fights than they took.
yeah.
That's
No,
that's just the way it
I
is.
hate it. I had like 4 or 5 guys back out of this fight that William took, so it's
But
very frustrating.
as you win fights and as you take fights and that record boots up, you are going to experience a level up in competition.
Yeah,
I mean, that's kind of crazy for me to say, being a guy who fought Overstreet on his amateur debut, but you will have a level of competition that'll put up and test you. And if you plan
I'm
on
ready.
being pro by the end of the year, then it's going to be a very exciting year for Dylan Budka. I'm looking forward to seeing it. So why don't you? I'm going to give you the floor now. I know that you have a lot of people that you would like to probably thank and acknowledge, or maybe some people that you want to call out, talk shit to. I don't care. The time is yours, my friend.
First, I want to thank you for having me on the show. I really appreciate it, and I appreciate this opportunity. Second, I'm ready to fight anyone at any time, as soon as possible. After this one, I'm going to showcase new things this fight that nobody's seen, that I've been having up my sleeve. And right after this fight, I'm ready for a title fight. I'm ready to get that title around my hip. If I have to get 2, I'll get 2. I'm excited for everything coming, and I'm excited to show everybody. Thank you, Demolition Fight Team. Thank you, Gary Young. Thank you, Ferrars. Thank you to all my teammates for making sure I'm straight and making sure I'm healthy to keep fighting. And I'm not going nowhere for a very long time. I'm here to stay, and I'm here to whoop some ass, man. I'm excited.
I'm excited as well, man. Legit, and I love how passionate you are about this. You're a very talented athlete. I look forward to what the future holds for you. I also want to take an opportunity to thank you for coming on the broadcast. I want to thank you for competing with us at Premier MMA, and Gary Young and all the guys at Demolition. Thank you guys, for supporting Premier and coming out and competing on our fight cards. It means a lot to us, and there's so much talent out there, man, at Demolition, that the fans really love it. I look forward to seeing you guys compete every time you're on a fight card, and I don't get much of an opportunity to say that, so I'm saying it now.
Thank you, man.
There's a lot of talent there. So guys, if you don't know, it's going down. William Connor Jr., Dylan Budka, Saturday, April 10th, live at the Hit Sports Complex in Covington, Kentucky. If you, as you guys know, with COVID, limited capacity, this show will sell out. There may not even be any tickets available now, but you can watch it live at 7:30 on Combat Sports Now, on pay-per-view. I forgot to ask you, originally you're from Baltimore, Maryland,
Yes,
right?
sir.
And then you competed at Notre Dame. Now you're fighting in Cincinnati. You got friends or family in Baltimore that's going to be watching you on April 10th?
I have people all over watching, man, everywhere. They're excited to see the Hulk fight.
Well, they can catch that on pay-per-view. It's going to be on Combat Sports Now. I'll be doing the broadcast, so hopefully I make it fun for everybody. Dylan, again, thank you so much for coming on the show, man. We'll see you on April 10th, and best of luck to you, my friend.
See you there, man. I appreciate you.
Dylan Budka, guys, and if you haven't had a chance to see this guy fight, he's kind of new to the game, but I was very impressed with him when I seen him perform last time. So I wanted to make sure that I got him on the show, that I got a chance to put him in front of you so you can see how entertaining and how much of a character this guy is. He's very talented. He has a very decorated background, And you can get an opportunity to see him fight live on April 10th. You don't want to miss it. Guys like this are the future of the sport. And you know, I'm always very excited when I see fighters compete at this level and get to see what they do later on in their careers. And I like to pass that excitement on to the fans. So if you don't know, now you know, man. This is going to be an exciting fight. He's fighting a very tough guy in William Connor Jr. He has a little more experience in the cage than Dylan does. He's fought some tough guys, and he's looking to get a win under his belt on April 10th as well. Both these guys, the win is very, very important to them. And that's what makes this fight exciting, is that one of them has to lose. There can only be one winner. As I said, guys, I haven't been keeping up with ticket sales because that's not my thing. I do know that we have limited tickets available for this fight. So get on cincyfights.com and see what's still available if you want to be one of the lucky few that can attend the event live. If not, pull us up on your 78-inch smart TV and enjoy the show at home, the comfort of your own house with your friends and family, and support local mixed martial arts that way. It's going to be an exciting fight card. I'm really looking forward to this one. I'm going to have some more interviews for you guys coming up later this week. The next one will probably be 24 hours after this one. So until next time, guys, I appreciate the support, and thanks for watching.